Hey guys, welcome back to the Freelance Friday podcast. Today I'm joined by Nina Zeta. She's the co founder of Sidewalker Daily, which specializes in helping content creators get paid. I want to talk today with her about the state of the creator economy, some of the trends that she's seeing for content creators, which platforms are working, which niches are working, how they're making full time incomes, if it's still possible today in 2026, because we all probably have heard things, right, for better or for worse, about the state of the industry. So we're going to dive into that with her. But I also want to let you know that her and I are hosting a free live class next week. It's coming up so soon. It's going to be linked down in the description box. So it is all about how to pitch to brands, how to build media kits to appeal to brands, how to solidify your pitch and your positioning, and how to reach out to brands. And what I love about these free classes that she does is they're not just for people like me who have an established YouTube channel or podcast. They're not just for celebrity level creators. We have had students in those classes who have just a few hundred or a few thousand subscribers or followers learn how to pitch user generated content, learn how to pitch their influence if they have a small niche account. And so, if you have any interest in being a content creator, doing brand deals, doing UGC, this will be so worth your time. Oh, and I also want to say thanks so much to Metricool for sponsoring today's episode. You can always use my code Latasha, that's Latasha, at the link in the show notes. That'll get you 30 days free on any of their premium plans. They've also got an amazing free plan that you can try out, but 30 days free on premium is amazing. Use my code Latasha, link down below. Welcome, Nina. I'm so excited to be chatting with you again.
I'm so pumped. I was going to say, this isn't going to even be an episode. It's just going to be us having a conversation.
Yes. Yes. I feel like,
For having me.
yeah, absolutely. I feel like a lot of people are saying, just in the online business space, like the greater online business space, that things are a little weird. Things feel a little bit weird.
The world is very weird, so they're not wrong.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, what actually prompted this idea for this episode is I was on Threads and she was just kind of saying, like, the creator economy is changing. The old way is no longer working. And I feel like you're kind of similar to me in that I don't really like those absolutist statements like brand deals are dead, or like I hate that. I'm like, stop. So before I spiraled, I was like, let me get Nina on and and see her perspective, because you have access to so many stories and case studies. So I'd love
Yes.
to hear about that.
Okay, so before I even get into the case studies and my background, can I just make a quick note about that
Yeah.
post? I didn't read the post, but
Yeah.
something that I have to constantly remind myself on social media, I have to constantly tell myself, is that people do things for clicks and people do things for the sensationalism of it. Like I'll see a post that's like AI is taking 80% jobs and then I'll panic. And then
Yeah.
my business partner and I will have a conversation where wait, they did that as a hook to be strategic to get views. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just had to preface, and I know you know that, but I sometimes think we all need that reminder, myself included. Just because someone makes a crazy remark online doesn't no means, does that not necessarily mean it's true? And so many people do things with the intention of going viral and with the
Yeah.
intention of getting those views. So just for
Yeah.
all of us to be mindful of how social media works. And the more sensationalist you are, the more views you're going to get and the more panic you're going to
Yes.
cause. Okay. So
100.
I just have to get that out of my system. Regarding your original question, well, just to briefly introduce myself and the creators that I'm working with. So, like Latasha mentioned, I started off on the brand side, meaning I was the gal managing these budgets, paying creators for influencer jobs, UGC jobs. And when I started, Reels wasn't even a thing. Like TikTok wasn't a thing. So yes, everything is constantly changing. And as content creators, we know that change is the only constant. So to say the industry is changing is never going to be a wrong statement because the industry is always changing. And I think as creators on the ground, we feel that the most. Just when we're comfortable, Substack will come, or just when we're comfortable, something else pops up, right? So to say that things are constantly changing is definitely a valid statement. But what I see, with the community of creators that I've been able to grow through our community at Sidewalker Daily is that partnerships, business, and creator economy is not going anywhere. So every time we panic about oh, where's the world going? I ask myself, Is the creator economy going to become obsolete? No. Like the creator economy is not going anywhere, which means creators are not going everywhere. Are we in a more mature phase of the creator economy? Yes. And that is good news for everyone because maturity means transparency. Maturity means, a profession can be made of this. It's no longer throwing spaghetti at the wall. And that's just a little bit, just my perspective. I'm not sure if I fully answered your question and I don't even
Yeah.
know what it was.
No, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. I mean, I relate to it from the course creator perspective. I know you watched that video that I did about our course is dead. And I'm like, I think it's actually kind of weeding out the maybe like very passive people who weren't taking it very seriously and just, oh, I just kind of got lucky and got like, I think it's making it, like you said, a true profession. So those who are treating this as a business, like, I think that's key, right?
Yeah. So, and I do see that shift happening. So it's not no longer like anyone can make money on, being an influencer when there was that big, 2020 bubble when people jumped in on TikTok and were cashing it. Now we are seeing it's more about, creators who do treat this as a business, creators who are in the mindset of being a service provider to their brand clients. Those are the ones that are thriving. I actually see a lot of my OG creators who have been this for a while that don't have an outbound muscle. They just wait for business to come to them. Those are the ones that are coming to me now being like, I have spent my entire like creator business getting inbounds and damn, I now need to go out there. I'm like, you sure do, sweetheart, because, sitting
Yeah.
around is no longer, the place that we can be in, like that comfortable just sitting and letting business come to you. And yes, there are still influencers I work with that have that, that gift or that privilege to be able to sit. But the majority of people, even with like the big followings and the big numbers, they're feeling a rock. They're feeling a shift and they're now being more proactive in their in their outbounds and knocking on doors. I don't know if you felt that, Latasha, but
Oh,
I can see
absolutely.
it.
Yeah, I have. I mean, I used to get, my inbox, I would get like at least a few partnership requests every day in my email inbox. And now it's more like, a handful a week. And then,
Yeah.
of course, you're sorting through the quality. I'm getting maybe one that's quality potential a week.
I think that's an
I,
honest piece to
yeah,
share with people because
yeah,
people, everyone, like even the superstars, like you're literally a superstar in the space. You're seeing those inbounds come less. It does not mean that brand deals are less. It does not mean that
yes.
budget is less. It means that we're seeing now, creators being a little bit more proactive, pitching more and having to get uncomfortable. And that's okay.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's what I was going to say too is I've actually seen a lot more success with outbound though. And I don't know if that's just I've gotten better. Like, spoiler alert, I've learned so much from you. Totally. I finally have a media kit. I don't know if it's that or if it is just that brands are kind of understanding the creator economy a little bit more. I think, years ago when I'd pitched, they'd be like, you want to do what? Like, they didn't like get it. So I think there's
Well,
maybe a combination.
and I do think that there is some stat out there, at least in the US, about 80% of US based companies are using influencer marketing. And that does include the UGC space. So, brands kind of get it. But every now and then you will find a brand that's like, this is our first time working with a creator. And I always tell the creators in my community, ding, ding, ding. When you hear a brand saying this is their first time, how can you, nurture them through that process? How can you accompany them in that? Whether it be like, oh, great. So let me walk you through how it typically works and really taking that lead and showing them that you are safe, you are professional, you've done this before. And to not see a brand that's just starting their first brand partnerships, because they do happen, there's still 20% of companies that aren't. So to kind of use that as a leverage, you guys, if you do find a brand that they do kind of say it's their first time, to not feel like, oh, they're annoying, but more there's
Yeah.
opportunity.
Absolutely. I'm waiting for the contract, knock on wood, hopefully, all goes well. But I just hopefully signed a brand like this. And I am really excited because they're really approaching it as like a strategic partnership. And I want this to be successful for them. So I was like, no, you guys need to add usage rights into this reel and like run it as an ad. And I'm like teaching them, because I want them to be successful.
And that's part of being a premium creator. And that's what we mean by maturing, right? It's not that brand deals are dead, but we're seeing a matureness come to, I don't even know if that's a word, matureness, but like we're seeing a maturity happen where business owners are explaining, hey, maybe we should add this usage fee. I think, if you have an extra ad budget, I would strongly suggest using it. Creators weren't doing that before. So that's there's always going to be, that change and that fresh perspective. And I'm happy that you took that lead. So good for you.
Yeah. Okay, there's so much I wanna dive into. You mentioned
You can
first, you
take as
mentioned
long as you
Substack.
want. I got
I
you.
know. I'm like, I gotta put a pin in that and that and that. Okay. You mentioned Substack though. I want to talk about that really quickly because I know you recently started a Substack, right? And so this is one of the areas of visibility you have that I think is really interesting because you're posting brand deals, right, for creators on your Substack. And so you're seeing what brand requests are coming in all the time.
Crazy. Literally, you guys, I have a source. I have a rat, a leak. I have a few
Ooh,
leaks.
I love it.
I'll share with you off record, but I do have some really great agencies like feeding me opportunities, and then I get to feed them to my community. And we made it so it was just like this day. Hey, every day you're going to get a brand deal in your inbox. So when people tell me brand deals are dead, I'm like, I literally have like too many to post that it would be like a burden. So I see UGC opportunities. I see really specific creators in, this city for the World Cup, or I see, you know, the most randomest companies, truly. Like, I can't even describe it. So we see opportunities on our Substack, and that's what we created it to funnel them direct to our creators. However, it has shown me, to your point, that there's always going to be business. And business is not what you necessarily in your brain think of it. Like, I'll have creators who are successful on Twitch. I have two are podcasters and they're successful on podcasts. We got YouTube. You don't have to be good at it all. There's opportunities on all. Some of the brand partnerships we'll get in are, a really random niche. They're like, we're
Mhm.
looking for this type of creator in this location. And hey, that may not be for everyone, but they exist. Like they're just now seen, it's more like a casting opportunity.
And I'm curious, like, are you noticing any I know you said it kind of runs the gamut of what comes in, but are you seeing any trends like platforms? Are there brands are they really looking for short form these days? Are they
You
like
know,
any
let's
trends?
Yeah, so people ask me all the time, like, what are the brands prioritizing? Like, what platforms and this and that? And I always try to get my creators to understand behind the brand is a person. And these people have preferences. Like, we are literally all human, right? So, like, let's peel back the onion. We're all human. We all have different preferences outside of data. So, like, I will have brands that no matter how much I'm trying to convince them to run a YouTube partnership, they're like, no, we want this. We want short. And then I have brands who only want long form, and there's nothing you can do to convince them of short. So I know people want to hear definitive. The great news is there is money in the garden wherever you water the garden. Like I said, if
Mm,
you water TikTok, there is money to be made there. If you water YouTube, there is money to be made there. So it should remove the stress from the creator about where our brand's prioritizing. I'm sure there's data that shows you like brand deal money that goes per platform. I'm sure that exists. But from the last time that I would look at any of these reports, they were all rather close. Like we're
yeah.
talking small margins, guys. So let this be actually of a comfort to you to pick a platform that is joyful, that brings you,
Mm.
that feels easy to maintain in the sense that you can make content for it. Like I always say, I love YouTube because it feels like going for a swim in the ocean for me versus when I'm on short form, I feel like I'm in a straitjacket. It's just the type of content the platform you pick, you'll make money on any of them because there are brands that are looking either for your audience or your content capabilities, regardless of the platform.
I love that, and I so agree, and I love your ocean versus straitjacket, comment, 'cause same. And something, again, I do as a creator is I do a little bit of education as well, like, for instance, this brand that reached out that's like, "We're new to brand deals, what do we do?" They initially were looking for short form, and I was like, "I'm happy to do short form," and there's definite benefits to that because you guys can run it as an Instagram ad and all of that. But also just FYI, the majority of my audience is on YouTube, and that's where I see the highest conversions and the best engagement. So would you also be open to adding a YouTube placement or two, which then also is an upsell, right? So again, it's like that consultant approach versus just like taking orders and being like, "Okay, sure, whatever." Hey guys, today's episode is sponsored by our friends at Metricool. If you're a content creator, if you're a social media manager, if you're an influencer marketer, regardless of which of those hats that you wear, Metricool can be a huge help to your workflow, to your process, because we all need social media to do our jobs, right? So, Metricool really is an all in one platform that'll help you manage your social media posts, schedule them. You can also get amazing analytics and reporting. This is so important, by the way. We didn't even get into this with Nina, but sending reports of your content to brands, sending those campaign reports, but also having a place to go to constantly update your media kit. That's so important. So Metricool can be a huge help with that. Now, while their free plan is extensive, upgrading to premium unlocks advanced features that can help you grow and manage your online presence. You get all of the benefits of a free plan, as well as management of multiple brands, customizable link pages for any of your social media bios, automated downloadable metric reports, team member roles and streamlined client approval workflows, seamless asset management with Google Drive and Canva integration, and so much more. You can choose from starter, advanced, or enterprise level plans. There really is one for everyone. So be sure to use my code Latasha, that's Latasha, at the link in the show notes to get your free 30-day trial on any of their premium plans.
Yes, and you guys, like, once creators understand their service providers and they are seeing themselves in the business as the client, the brand as the client, and you get into that, you're really wanting them to succeed. So you're going to help them make the best decision. I also think something I love to tell, my inner circle, which is my membership community, we talk about this a lot, is using, not marketing jargon to sound smart, but really understanding how a campaign works, because then it puts you in a position of authority when you know the behind the scenes. So, what do I mean by that? When you were taking a brand and you're getting them on a call and you're asking them, what are the goals for your campaign? And, you're kind of almost coming to them being like, listen, if you're looking for more conversion based content, if you want content that's a little lower down the funnel, it would be my strong professional opinion that we do a long form video, because we can really make sure that the keywords are targeted to the search around this topic. If you're looking for
Mm.
more top of funnel brand awareness, yes, let's go ahead and jump in and do some viral reels or some hooky things, whatever. This now shows that you care. You are in it with that. You can understand if they have an awareness campaign, they don't need, a 45-minute deep dive on YouTube. So it also allows you to really understand the type of content you make as a creator. Where does it lie on the funnel? And then understanding the brand's goals and matching it. So if you know that they are really looking for conversion based content and you are working with a partner and you're doing a video that is like, I don't know, I think the most conversion based content is when people are doing a search comparing. So, like, let's just say
Yeah.
we're comparing Awala water bottles versus Stanley. I'm sure there's search around that keyword. Someone that's typing that is ready to buy. So if
Mm.
you are like, hey, I'm going to make a video on this keyword, is like that customer's in the consideration phase. They're about to purchase. They just need to be convinced. Then now you are positioning yourself again as someone who understands, you're making recommendations, and you're helping your brand partner, ultimately achieve whatever their goals are.
Oh my gosh, that's tea right there. The light bulbs just went off for me. I'm like, okay, so all of my brand partners I need to do comparison videos with now, because you're so right. It's like you're pulling out your credit card when you're typing that in.
When you're
Yeah.
typing in those sort of keywords. But if you're thinking to yourself, and you guys, use AI to help you, like say, what are some top of funnel brand awareness style topics? If someone is saying like, best places to travel or maybe something of that
Mhm.
nature versus Spain, March 2026, like they're trying to go to Spain in March or whatever. So
Yep.
really identifying what type of title you make, what type of video you make to again help that brand reach their goals based on the funnel. And if you guys are like don't know what the marketing funnel is, just look it up. You'll see it. It's
Yeah.
really simple.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I think again that just goes back to treat ourselves like business owners, look at us as ourselves as service providers, as consultants. We're not just like,
No,
cool, funny kids dancing around on TikTok. Like we are really, this is a job, this is a career, this is a business.
businesses want to work with other businesses. They don't want to work with a hobbyist. I always use the example of you're hiring someone to do your makeup for your wedding. And they're like, yeah, like I'll do it. Oh, I don't pay. I don't charge. Like it's fine. Like you're like, are you even a business? Like this
Yeah.
feels janky janky versus like someone that shows up. They have an estimate. They're like making a proposal. Like they're like, you feel safe psychologically. You feel safe with
Yep.
that creator. And, this is how you show up matters psychologically from, that safety perspective and the brand saying, okay, I'm going to pay them and I'm not scared to do so because they're going to deliver.
Yeah. Okay. What about this is another question I get a lot. What about niches? Which I think the answer is like do what you love, right? Like do what you can what I always say is do what you can consistently create content about. But are you seeing any niches that maybe are standouts or like you're like, wow, a lot of my creators in the travel space are doing really well, or a lot of my creators in the beauty space are not doing well. Any trends
No, I'm
there?
sorry. And I'm going to tell you why. 'Cause my travel creators are making $20,000 brand deals pitching popcorn companies. They're
Oh my gosh.
not, they're working, we're pitching outside of our niche. One of the main
Yeah.
things I love to talk about is, you don't need to pitch within your niche. I have mom creators that are pitching estate planning companies, how to set up a will. That's not a kiddie toy. We are thinking about how to pitch outside of our niche. You don't just want to pitch
Mm.
inside your niche, right? So, like, I always call it the blender example. I'm an entrepreneur. I have a community of 160,000 creators. I could pitch a blender. The way I'm going to pitch a blender is as a busy mom, as an entrepreneur, I need a smoothie on the go. I need to be able to, whatever. That's going to be
Yep.
my angle. Someone else is going to have a different angle, right? Like a mom creator is going to have a different, a fitness instructor is going to have a different, like, we're all having different angles. So I really love and I really strongly suggest to anyone listening, your niche is around your content, not around your money. Who you pitch can be totally outside of your wheelhouse. That's where creative pitches come to life. Okay. Now, I will say niche accounts can charge more. So, what do I
Mm.
mean by this? If I have a very niche style creator, we can charge more in our pricing because we are so niche in what we do.
Yeah.
So if you love creating a specific type of content or there's something that really speaks to you, find your audience at such a deep, intimate level. Because once you have them hooked, you can put a really nice little price tag on that from your CPM. I always say entertainment creators, comedians,
Mhm.
things like that, that's way cheaper. People are
Yeah.
not coming to them to buy and learn you know, but that's okay. They're views,
Yeah.
they're viral, they have something to add to the market. But if you are more niche, you can charge more. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't see a specific niche out there killing it. I have like a magician, opera singer, whatever, mermaid type. I see
I
all the
love it.
things. But I do think the freedom is knowing that you don't have to pitch within your niche. You can pitch any single brand. There is an angle there for you. That's my specialty actually is finding
Yeah.
the angle.
I love that, and I, again, can speak from experience on this. Yes, I think probably the brand people know me the most for is Metricool, which is very aligned to my niche. But it's really funny. I've done 2 videos this past year that people love, and people are like, "I've bought this, and thank goodness I used affiliate links for at least one of them." They weren't brand sponsorships, but I did a hair tool, like a blow dryer brush. People loved I'm getting, like, messages on my personal Facebook being like, "Oh my gosh, Latasha, that tool is so interesting." And I use an affiliate link, and I'm getting so much affiliate clicks and income from a hair tool.
Yeah.
And then the other one is a
Yeah.
mocktail brand. Yeah.
Well,
Because
mocktail is
people know
so
I don't drink.
appropriate for you. It's so
Yeah.
appropriate for you. So I love
Yep.
that. And
Yep.
I think it's one of my favorite things to do is like thinking about the best pitches include an angle. I always tell creators, you guys are really good at hooks, right? For your content. You need to apply your hook strategy in your pitches. Don't say, "Oh, I wanna make a video on boring, 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 blah." It's the number one hair tool I can't live without. Like, now the brand sees themselves in this story, right? So, when you think about the types of brands you wanna pitch, one of the strategies I love to teach is, like, putting a brands in verticals. So,
Mm.
we like to categorize when we build our list of brand partners, we like to categorize them in verticals. So, think of it as like a category. So if I want to pitch a sunscreen company, I could pitch 20 sunscreen companies with one pitch, right? So you can kind of clump brands together based on the category they're in. And as long as you have an angle that is interesting and fresh, you can pitch that brand. And here's the best part: creators oftentimes say, "Oh, I pitched my dream brand. I can't pitch them again." Yes, you can.
Mhm.
You can
Mhm.
pitch every 3 months as long as you're
Mhm.
pitching a different angle. You can pitch them as many times as you want. Because here's the thing: being on the PR side, I would pitch the New York Times or CNN or whoever all the time. My
Yeah.
stories wouldn't get picked up. I'm like, I want this. They're like, nah, don't like it. I pitch this. Nah, don't like it. I pitch this. Nah, don't like it. Finally, I said something interesting. They're like, we like that one. We're going to run it. Remember, angles, editorials, storylines. That's what these brands are buying into.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. I love that. Okay. I'm curious too. I know we talked a little bit. I mentioned usage rights. You mentioned UGC. Just for those who are a little newer here, can we talk about like some of those value adds? Like how can you take let's say that hair tool reached out to me and was like, "Hey, we'd love to, pay you $1,000 to make a reel or whatever. How could I make this better? How could I turn that into like a real job?"
I have two methods that I love to share. One is the and method. So if a brand says, I want a video and da, 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 there's extra. So that being exclusivity, usage, boosting rights, ownership, whatever. It's that and. Once they want something in addition, that lets you know as a business owner that there's something to add to your proposal. Now, here's the thing: you will all run your businesses, you guys, in very different ways. Some of us are Spirit Airlines, where we charge for every little add on, and that's just okay. That's how you run business. And some people are like, here's the price and it includes XYZ. Maybe you're positioning yourself as a more premium service and you're like not nickel and diming and putting everything as a line item, but it's included automatically, right? So that's a business decision. One thing I think really helps a creator sell more effectively is the power of a solid case study and results, as well as combining it with a proposal. So a lot of us here, we don't want to make small money deals. We're not looking for $300 videos and $500 videos. We're looking for $5,000 partnerships, right? It is hard to make $5,000 on an email. So one of the best strategies is getting that client on a call, is getting the brand on a call. Call it a discovery call. Say, hey, I want to make sure it's a good fit for both of us. I'd love to learn more about you guys. Getting this brand on a call is a really great way to get airtime with them. And then the money happens in the proposal. So when we send a proposal, we want to make it really easy for the client to see the clear packages and make a decision. Creators will fumble the bag here a lot because they have like 6 packages or even too many. Make it
Mhm.
it's simple, whatever that expression is. Make
Yeah.
your proposal very easy to understand. This is package A and this is package B. And one of my favorite tips is when you're thinking about putting your packages together, you guys, again, you're selling it to a human, not a brand. So I'll give you an example. Let's just say one reel is $1,000. We
Mhm.
all know, easy math, that 3 reels is 3,000, right? We
3,000.
can all do that really simply. So for like, here's package A, it's one reel. It includes editing and thumbnail covers and one round of revisions, a 30-minute call with me to go over things. Like, it includes all this stuff. And then package 2 is 3 reels for 2,500. The brand
Mhm.
immediately knows without even you telling them that this is better bang for their buck. So
Yeah.
remember, a part of pricing yourself is also thinking psychologically, how do you make those offers really stand out to then excite the brand to opt into your bigger package? And a negotiation strategy that I love, and then I'll shut it, is this idea of polite justification, is justifying your prices very politely. So if you say, it's $3,000 for a YouTube video, they're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
No, it's research. It's keyword research. It's competitive research. I'm looking up other videos in the market to make sure that ours is different. It includes 2 30-minute calls with your team. It includes one round of revisions. It includes up to 3 thumbnails for your team to choose. Like this concierge explaining bullet point, what is in it, hair and makeup, location scouting. I don't know.
Yep. Yep.
Make it feel robust. It's not
Yeah.
3,000 for one video. People don't understand what is included.
Yeah. I'm curious if you're seeing your creators use AI for any part of this, like, pricing or package research? Because I can tell you a way that I've been using it. I don't
Would
know.
love to hear. So we are
Yeah.
not team anti-AI, but we are
Yeah.
team think critically and have AI
Yes.
support you. So, what I find is happening the most is once a creator has a really solid pitch together that works, we've tested it, it works, then we'll use AI to like replicate our golden pitches, right? Or personalize them. But we're not having AI build. We're thinking strategically how we want our opening, how we want our middle, how we want our closing. I find AI pricing tends to undervalue oftentimes a creator. The formulas I present in our program, again, I'm just not to be biased, but like being on the brand side, I would value stuff all the time. So I think that I find that the AI, every time someone's like, I went on ChatGPT and asked, and this is what it came up with, I'm like, I
Yep.
see it double, triple. So I do find that piece. Research is great. Obviously, like having, there's so many creators now using Claude Cowork to build out CRMs. They're linking it with email scrubbings. They're building pipelines. And I'm all for that. But I do think if you rely on AI to do the research for a brand pitch, you're putting too much trust in a outsourced tool than yourself. So I would strongly suggest like checking those key messages, not trusting it blindly. I mean, just going on a brand's website yourself just for a few seconds and doing a scan to see what those key messages are. I rather send less pitches at a quality level than a lot of slop at a higher
Yep.
level. But I'm not
Yeah.
against it. Like, I think AI
Yeah.
is amazing, and we're obviously seeing so much happening in our space, especially from an organizational standpoint, from a pipeline, like measuring things. Like, I'm here for that. I do think, like, with everything, it has its limitations.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I am team, like, write your own pitch right from the heart. If you can't take a 5 seconds to scan a website, do you really want it that bad? But what I've been using it is exactly what you just shared. If a brand is like, "Okay, how much is it gonna cost if we add exclusivity and if we add this and if we add that?" And I have a few kind of solid examples of past things that people have agreed to, past proposals that brands have agreed to. With all that broken out, I'll like put that into AI and be like, okay, can you help me like do the math? Because at a certain point, I'm like confused. I'm like, okay, now we're, splitting this up. So that's been helpful for me using those past real case studies.
Yeah, and you can always call me too, Latasha. I can always look over your math. Funny enough, it's
Yes.
actually the one thing in school that I was probably the weakest at, even though I got
Nice.
my MBA and was an econ major, and you would think I'd be like a math nerd. But funny
Yeah.
enough, when it comes to rates, like I love making them. So if you ever have any
Okay.
questions,
Yeah.
I'm
I
happy to look over your math.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. Let's see. What do you think? This is something we were just talking about a little bit because I actually just talked to a creator who was telling me exactly what you said before we started recording is that she's doing social media for clients and she was asking me some tips because she's been a full-time influencer and she just went through some changes in her life where she wanted to be a little bit less on camera all the time and she was like, "Hey, maybe I could do social media in addition to my influencing career." So I'm curious, like, what you're seeing as well, whether it's for that reason, for just like wanting a little bit more out of the spotlight, or maybe just, yeah, economic things or looking to make any additional money. What are you seeing creators do as kind of like their side hustle?
More and more creators are now owning that they want to be influencers. That is also a big shift. Before people were like, cringe, I hate the word, or meh, all the
Yeah.
things. And now they're like, no, I want to grow online. I want to build a community. I want to develop my personal brand. And that's a big funny word, right? Personal brand. Like that word
Yeah.
replaced influencer, but like call a spade a spade. Okay.
Yeah.
Like you guys just want to grow your online communities. You want to, build your online presence. And I'm here for it. What I do know is like anything, it requires time and effort and work. And people think they're going to grow a bajillion followers overnight, and they're not. And I don't care if you go viral off of one video and have that big success story, which we all see. Business and influencing and building your personal brand takes time. So, because of that, and because creators want the freedom to build their communities, they are looking for stable side jobs like UGC, right? Where they're like, okay, I'm just going to make content for a company and that's going to be my retainer based biz. And it's going to give me the time and flexibility to grow my online presence. Just like I told you offline before we started today's call, I'm seeing a lot of creators say, hey, I want to have like 2 clients on social media, retainers, and they're doing it with the intention of having stable income because we all know really good social media retainer management retainers, we're seeing 3 to 6 months, right? So we're locking in a nice 6 month chunk or 3 month chunk of business. And that stability allows the creative to go out and build their online persona without the fear of like, oh my God, I have to make money like right off the bat from the first day. So a lot of the people in my community, while they are actively pursuing their online, you know,
Yeah.
persona, they are building social media management businesses and they're not looking to scale these. Again, this is just my people. I can't speak for everyone. They're not looking to hire people, make it a big old agency. They're like, I just need 2 or 3 brands on retainer and I'll be good to be able to build myself. So I'm seeing a lot of that happening. Same with UGC. There's a lot of UGC creators in my community that purchase my programs and they don't want to be influencers. They're straight up like, I just want to do this for the privacy. I just want to make content. I don't need to be about me on my page. I don't even care. And that's great. But there are UGC creators that are like, I want to do this on the side as I build myself up. And
Yeah.
they're pitching those sort of content jobs. And that's why my Substack is like literally sending them every day a UGC opportunity to apply to. And they're able to, make what they need to make a month to then have the time to build what they want.
I love that because I think there is such beauty that comes from building your business not out of desperation. I always say this about when I started my social media management business. I was able to be picky about the clients I took on because I had saved, from my corporate job. I saved a little nest egg so that I wouldn't have to take every single client that came my way. And I think this is kind of that for creators. I don't want creators to feel like they have to take a very low paying job just because they need to pay their rent. So it's like, if you can set up a little side hustle that's still related and you probably have all of those skills, you can be a social media manager if you know how to build your own personal brand and vice versa. They're very transferable skills. So I think that's a smart way to be able to build your business intentionally.
Agreed. I will say, and this may be controversial, as someone who's been on the agency side, client side, like all of it, there will be a point that you will have to treat yourself like a client. And when I was in knee deep in client work, I would always just like put myself last because I'm like, oh my gosh, well, I have all these like clients I have to like perform for. And then by the time it was time to do Sidewalker, I didn't want to. I was like, I'm doing everyone else, I'm done. So just a caveat to be mindful of that trap that happens to a lot of us. So if you need to have those strong boundaries from the beginning. Maybe it's taking less clients or less UGC or like looking at your budget and being really clear so that you can allocate time in your calendar for yourself. Because this
Yes.
idea, this romantic idea of,
Mhm.
having when you have clients on retainer, you are expected to deliver and the pressure that comes with that. So just to be like, okay, well, guess what? Nina's also a client. So Nina, if this client gets this amount of hours a month, that so does Nina, right?
Yeah.
Because I need to be able to pour into my business. If not, you'll just be in the race of always growing other people and not yourself.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. Let's see. I mean, do you see any big opportunities for the next couple years for creators? I know that's a big broad question, but I mean, any platforms popping up, any types of activations that you see as opportunity areas for creators?
Yeah, I think
What-
obviously we're seeing AI like that just comes to mind right away, like creators being more efficient, smarter, building stronger systems. And I'm all about that. I think that's a very obvious response because there is a lot of change happening and I see it every day in my community. People are like, I just built this or I just did that. And I'm like, I can't even teach on it because by the time I did, it would be outdated because next week there's going to be an update. So I'm like, it's just moving so fast. One thing I do think that is going to be truly prioritized will be in-person events more than the COVID bubble. Like I see that now. I think AI is more of of a push to in person than COVID was. I think that the best pitches are done in person. I think the best negotiations are done in person. The great friendships are built in person. So I know live events is something that we are actively looking for, hoping to put more of together, getting in person when we can, investing in in-person opportunities. I think that's going to be something that more and more people are going to thrive off of because we've gotten so deep in Zoom culture and in isolation work from home culture that we are at the point that I think live stuff is going to just really make a comeback. Funny enough, I think that outside of like the platforms, while we can't imagine what platform will come next in the next couple of years, because again, look at Substack or look at the things that pop up. I think the same adage is true. Early adapters, people who move fast, always tend to see the best results. But at the same time, like the big and is you also don't have to do everything. And there's beauty in also not doing everything. And I'll tell people, I know it's like a funky place to live in because it's kind of contradictory, but like I'll host a session in our membership about like Pinterest. And I will start the session by being like, please do not does this session I'm like, this does not mean we all need to run and jump on Pinterest, right? This is not
Yeah.
about that. It's about educating yourself to make a decision whether or not this is a good fit for you. Not all rush towards the shiny coin. Learn about things, open your eyes to things. If they're good fits for you and your business, jump fast. You'll see momentum. And if it's not, it's okay to say no to things as well. I think there's a big rise in like what I call like not the middle class creator, but not like
Yeah.
the mega guru and like
Yeah.
the person who closes their laptop at 5 p.m., the person who
Yep.
has boundaries around content, the person who has boundaries around their phone. Like we're seeing a shift. And that goes back to your initial question of shifts. Like creators are now making sustainable livings. They don't need to be the next bajillionaire. They're not looking for
Mhm.
that. There's like a middle class creator
Yeah.
happening. And I think a lot of people are here for that movement.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. You're speaking my language because it's like, who wouldn't trade their corporate salary to be able to work from home, create about stuff that they love to do, work on their own schedule? Like, that's amazing, whether you're making $5 million or, a little bit less or a lot less than that, but you're able to sustain your lifestyle. Like, that's amazing.
Agreed. And I think that more and more creators are deciding their values and they're looking to be more in alignment with their values. Like I often think to myself, I could be making so much more in
Mhm.
so many places, but maybe that's not my priority at the moment. Like being able to pick up my kids if I needed to or attend their musical, whatever. It's this integrated life where we're seeing more creators find content to be this joyful space and not this like I have to record everything and post everything and like this manic rush. It just feels I'm seeing it anyways with our people because our people are doing this 9 to 5, being like, this is now a job. This is not my
Yeah.
life. This is a job.
Yeah. And I think it's really important too to understand the other side of the creator world is the audience, right? The social media users. And what you said about in person, that made me think of this because I think people are a little burnt out. I know this because I read the social media studies and all of that. And social media engagement is down, not to a point where social media is dead. Again, that's like the clickbait, like fear mongering. But people are looking to maybe learn about an event that they can go to. They're using social media to find out how they can connect in the real world. Or I saw this article about how old school hobbies are back, like knitting and gardening and cooking. Like people want to do things with their hands again. People want to get out into the world again. So just important to think about as creators too.
Definitely. And when you also think about just in general this idea of like your business. The reason you're working for yourself, and I know you've taught me this in many ways, is to live the type of life you want to live. Like you've always been like, yeah, I don't want to scale and hire thousands of people. Like that is
Mhm.
exhausting for you, and like what a beautiful like blessing to be able to make that choice, right? To have choice in the type of life you want to live. I do think though that with the changes happening in our industry with AI content or AI this. And the one thing that I find, anyways, is people want to learn from people who've actually experienced those experiences. Like, you don't want that from a robot, So
Yes.
people always get scared. Oh, is AI going to replace us? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
it's meant to support us in output and efficiency, but it's not going to replace the human experience because people want to learn through those who've had lived experiences in it, not from a textbook of what you should or should
A textbook who gets it wrong, like, let's be honest, half the
know.
time, to your point, I'm, like, pricing or whatever, I'll be like, "You're giving me, like, just wrong advice, like, you have no nuance." I'm also not anti-AI, but, like, use discretion and, get a few different sources for things, so
Definitely, definitely.
amazing. Okay, well, I think that's it, but we're going to go much more into the pitching conversation, outbound pitching, media kits, all of that in our class. So I'll have info on that down below. Would love to have you guys join us. But Nina, in the meantime, where can people find you if they want to connect with you?
So we are Sidewalker Daily on all platforms, YouTube, social, all the things. But our Substack is called The Paid Creator. So if you are interested in our Substack, we do have a free Substack, and then we have a monthly version as well that's paid. So there's opportunities even if you join the free one.
Amazing. I need to sign up. I still haven't yet, but
Oh my gosh,
I can't wait.
yes.
Yes, I need to get my brand deals on too.
I know. Something we do there that I think is interesting is sometimes instead of putting like a brand deal, I'll put an idea. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, like Red Bull just launched a berry flavor or something. Great
yeah,
idea. Great time to pitch. So maybe Red Bull doesn't have like a paid opportunity, but if I see a launch or if I see someone doing something newsworthy, to me, it's like, go pitch them. If they're doing
yeah,
something they want press to, they want eyeballs to, hey, congratulations on the launch of your new that
yep,
fairy flavored peanut
yeah,
butter.
yeah,
You're using launch, you're using
yep.
fresh information in the pitch. So there's those sort of opportunities as well.
I love that. Amazing.
Cool.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Nina. Always a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
And
This was
I'll see
so
you guys
fun.
at
Like
our
we could
last
have
class.
kept going and going and going, but we had to wrap it
I
up.
know. I know. Appreciate you.
Thank you, my dear.